Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
I used to love silence. Now silence is the enemy because that's when I hear it the clearest. It's a low, throbbing hum, a resonant frequency that feels less like a sound and more like a vibration deep in my bones. It started, as most nightmares do, innocently enough. My name is Amanda Valencia, and I've always been obsessed with sound. Not music necessarily, but the subtle acoustics of the world, the way wind sings through high wires, the creak of old wood in an empty house, the distant murmur of a hidden stream. I'm an amateur field recorder, and it's my escape from everything. After my layoff from that design firm, it became my life. Last month, I took my gear deep into the old Day Creek Preserve, a vast stretch of protected wilderness that used to be a logging area decades ago. There's a section, almost forgotten, where the forest grows impossibly thick around a series of abandoned charcoal kilns. They're these massive, brick beehives, and I thought the acoustics inside would be phenomenal. I set up my high-sensitivity mics, closed my eyes, and just listened. I recorded for hours, picking up the rustle of unseen creatures, the drip of condensation, the sigh of ancient brick. Back home in my small apartment, I started sifting through the audio. Most of it was exactly what I expected. But then there it was, hidden beneath the other sounds, an impossibly low frequency. A hum. It wasn't mechanical, not a drone, nothing natural. It was too pure, too deep, like the fundamental vibration of the earth itself, but wrong. It had a strange, almost intelligent texture to it. I spent days trying to isolate it, thinking it was some kind of electrical interference from my equipment, or maybe a distant infrasound from seismic activity. But the more I worked on it, the more unsettling it became. The hum started appearing in other recordings I hadn't made in the kilns. A recording of rain outside my window, a quiet morning in the park, it was there, a faint, almost subliminal presence. Then I started hearing it when I was awake, in the quiet moments just before sleep, or when I was alone in my apartment. It felt like it was coming from inside the walls, or worse, from inside my own head. My sensitive recording equipment would often glitch, picking up static or strange, high-pitched chirps when the hum was present. I called my friend Erik. He's a tech wizard, always up for a challenge. I played him the isolated hum. He ran it through every diagnostic he had. Amanda, I'm telling you, it's either a fluke in the mic sensitivity or it's something at the very edge of human hearing. Not impossible, but strange. He called it the static field as a joke. He suggested it might be a psychological response to stress, too. He was trying to be helpful, but his dismissiveness only made me feel more isolated. I decided to push it. I needed to understand. I connected my high-fidelity speakers to my workstation, amplified the hum to a level that made the floorboards vibrate, and hit play. The air in my small studio apartment instantly grew cold, a biting, unnatural chill. The shadows in the corners deepened, becoming pools of absolute black. I swear, the posters on my wall seemed to ripple, the very lines of the room distorting in my peripheral vision. It wasn't a creature, not in the traditional sense. It was a geometric impossibility, a tear in the fabric of what should be, coalescing from the sound itself. It manifested as a deeper darkness, a profound absence of light that seemed to draw everything inward. Erik came over a few days later, still trying to convince me it was all in my head. I was jumpy, sleep-deprived. I had the hum playing softly on a loop, hopping to catch some new detail. When he walked in, his phone immediately flickered, then died. My computer monitor went black for a second. "What the hell, Amanda? You got some poltergeist wiring in here," he joked, but his voice was a little shaky. I told him it was the hum. He scoffed, walking closer to the speaker, trying to hear this inaudible frequency I spoke of. "You really need to unplug, get some fresh air. You're hearing things that aren't there." "But it is there, Erik," I whispered, my voice trembling. "And it's getting stronger. It changes things." I'd spent the last few nights analyzing the hum, finding tiny, complex waveform patterns within its monolithic resonance. One particular sequence had fascinated me, a set of almost mathematical, intersecting lines within the audio spectrum. I pulled up that specific segment, isolated it, and amplified it. The sound wasn't just a hum anymore. It was a grating, grinding resonance that made my teeth ache. The air in the room didn't just grow cold. It became heavy, suffocating. The shadows pulsed, expanding and contracting like a distorted heartbeat. Erik stared, his mouth agape. His eyes darted around the room, finally locking onto the speaker. He stumbled back, clutching his head. "Amanda, turn it off! My ears, my brain." But I couldn't. My hand felt frozen on the mixer. The sound had a hold on me, a curious, horrifying grip. The geometric distortions in the room intensified, not just shadows, but the actual physical space seemed to fold in on itself, like a digital image corrupting. Erik screamed, a guttural, desperate sound that was quickly swallowed by the overwhelming hum. His body began to shimmer. Like an image pixelating, his form seemed to blur, then stretch, then unravel. He wasn't bleeding, there was no gore, but his physical presence became disjointed, his limbs elongating then snapping back, his face flickering like a bad broadcast. He was coming apart, atom by atom, not exploding, but simply unmaking. The last thing I saw was his eyes, wide with impossible terror, before his entire form dissolved into a rippling distortion, swallowed by the poolsing blackness near the speaker. Then even the distortions receded, leaving only the deafening, bone-vibrating hum. I don't know how long I sat there, paralyzed. When I finally could move, I tore my equipment apart. I smashed my recorder, ripped out the speaker cones, even tried to delete every file, every waveform, every trace of that horrifying sound. But it didn't matter. The hum was still there, in the air, in the floorboards, in the ringing silence of my apartment. And I realize now, it's in me. The static field, the resonance, whatever it is, it's not just an external sound anymore. It's a permanent fixture in my hearing, a low, dreadful thrumming beneath every sound, every whisper, every breath. I'm afraid to record, afraid to even speak above a whisper, afraid my own voice, vibrating at the wrong frequency, will act as a conduit for it to finish what it started. I'm alone now, but I'm not quiet. Not ever again. The silence is gone. It's inside me now, waiting. Listen closely to the background hum of your own life. You might find it's already there too.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.